All right, let me tell you something my grandfather used to say every single time someone in the family got sick, had a stain they couldn't remove, or needed to clean something without spending a fortune on fancy products. He would walk into the kitchen, reach under the sink, pull out that brown bottle, and say, "This little thing right here solves more problems than anything else in this house." He was talking about hydrogen peroxide. And today, I am counting down 43 of the most clever, useful, and surprisingly powerful hydrogen peroxide hacks that most people have absolutely no idea about. We are starting at number 43 and working our way down to the single best hack Grandpa swore by his entire life. Stick around because some of these are genuinely going to blow your mind. Before we dive in, one quick note. Most of these hacks use the standard 3% hydrogen peroxide solution you find at any drugstore. That is the safe, household concentration. Do not use higher concentrations for these tips unless specifically mentioned. Now let's go. Hack number 43. Whitening your grout lines. Mix hydrogen peroxide with baking soda into a thick paste and apply it directly onto your tile grout using an old toothbrush. Let it sit for about 10 minutes, then scrub in circular motions and rinse. The peroxide releases oxygen when it contacts organic material like mold and mildew embedded in grout. And that oxygen essentially bleaches and kills the discoloration at the same time. Hack number 42. Removing armpit stains from white shirts. Mix 1 part dish soap with 2 parts hydrogen peroxide and apply it directly to the yellowed area. Let it sit for an hour before washing normally. Those yellow stains are caused by a reaction between sweat proteins and aluminum compounds in deodorant. The peroxide breaks down those protein bonds while simultaneously lifting the color, something regular laundry detergent alone struggles to accomplish. Hack number 41. Cleaning your cutting board. Pour hydrogen peroxide directly onto your wooden or plastic cutting board after washing it with soap and water. Let it bubble for 5 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. Raw meat leaves behind bacteria that soap does not always eliminate completely. The peroxide penetrates the surface micro-scratches where bacteria hide and destroys them through oxidation. Hack number 40. Refreshing your refrigerator. Spray the interior walls, shelves, and door compartments with hydrogen peroxide and wipe clean with a cloth. Unlike chemical cleaners, peroxide leaves no harmful residue on food contact surfaces, and it eliminates odor-causing bacteria and mold spores that tend to colonize the damp, cool environment inside your fridge. Hack number 39. Disinfecting fruits and vegetables. Fill a large bowl or your clean sink with water and add half a cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide. Submerge your produce and let it soak for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then rinse thoroughly under running water and dry before storing or eating. This process kills surface bacteria, breaks down pesticide residue, and even extends the shelf life of your produce. Grandpa used to do this every single time he brought vegetables in from the market. He called it giving the food a proper bath before it earned a spot on the table. The oxygen released during the soak actually works to lift waxy coatings and chemical sprays off the skin of fruits and vegetables more effectively than plain water rinsing ever could. Hack number 38. Treating minor cuts and scrapes. Apply a small amount of 3% peroxide to a clean cotton ball and dab it gently onto minor wounds to kill bacteria and help prevent infection. While medical guidelines have evolved and some doctors suggest plain water for deep wounds, for small surface cuts and scrapes, a single application helps sanitize before you apply a bandage. Hack number 37. Whitening your teeth naturally. Mix a small amount of hydrogen peroxide with an equal amount of water. Swish it around your mouth for about 60 seconds, then spit and rinse thoroughly. Do this no more than 2 to 3 times per week. The peroxide acts as a mild bleaching agent and also kills the bacteria responsible for bad breath and gum disease. Hack number 36. Cleaning your toilet bowl without scrubbing forever. Pour half a cup of hydrogen peroxide into the toilet bowl and let it sit for 30 minutes without flushing. Then give it a quick swish with the brush and flush. The peroxide breaks down the biofilm and mineral deposits clinging to the porcelain so you barely have to scrub at all. Hack number 35. Eliminating foot odor and treating athlete's foot. Fill a basin or tub with warm water and add 2 cups of 3% hydrogen peroxide. Soak your feet for 20 to 30 minutes. Grandpa did this every Sunday evening without fail. He had worked physical jobs his whole life and swore this routine kept his feet clean, odor-free, and free from fungal issues for years. The peroxide creates an oxygen-rich environment in the soak water that fungal organisms simply cannot survive in. Fungus thrives in low-oxygen, moist environments, and the peroxide disrupts that completely. It also softens rough, calloused skin and helps with minor nail discoloration. After soaking, dry your feet thoroughly, especially between the toes. Hack number 34. Freshening your laundry when it smells musty. Add 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide directly to your washing machine drum before starting a load. It acts as a natural alternative to bleach on whites and brightens colors without the harsh chemical damage that chlorine bleach causes. Hack number 33. Getting rid of earwax buildup. Tilt your head to the side and place 3 to 4 drops of 3% hydrogen peroxide into your ear canal. Let it bubble and work for about 5 minutes, then tilt your head the other way to let it drain out. The fizzing action helps loosen and break apart compacted earwax so it drains naturally. Hack number 32. Deodorizing your underarms naturally. This one Grandpa actually passed down through the family. After showering, take a cotton pad soaked in 3% hydrogen peroxide and wipe your underarms with it. Let it dry completely before applying anything else. The peroxide kills the bacteria living on your skin that are responsible for producing body odor. Sweat itself does not smell. It is the bacteria feeding on sweat that creates the odor. By reducing that bacterial population directly on the skin, you target the actual source of the smell rather than just masking it with fragrance like most commercial deodorants do. It works surprisingly well, especially in warm weather, and it is completely free of aluminum, parabens, and synthetic fragrances. Hack number 31. Cleaning your contact lenses case. Rinse your lens case with hydrogen peroxide and let it air dry. This eliminates microbial buildup inside the case that can cause eye infections over time. Hack number 30. Removing blood stains from fabric. Pour cold hydrogen peroxide directly onto a fresh blood stain immediately. Watch it fizz as it reacts with the enzymes in the blood. Blot with a clean cloth. Never rub, and repeat until the stain lifts. Always use cold peroxide and cold water because heat sets protein-based stains permanently. Hack number 29. Keeping your dishwasher clean and odor-free. Run an empty cycle with 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide added to the bottom of the dishwasher. It sanitizes the interior walls, spray arms, and drain, where food particles accumulate and create bacterial growth over time. Hack number 28. Making plants healthier and boosting root growth. Mix 1 teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide per cup of water and use it to water your houseplants or garden seedlings. The extra oxygen released at the root zone mimics the oxygen-rich rainwater that naturally falls during thunderstorms. It encourages beneficial aerobic bacteria in the soil while fighting root rot caused by anaerobic pathogens. Hack number 27. Clearing up acne and skin blemishes. Dab a tiny amount of 3% peroxide onto individual pimples using a cotton swab once daily. It kills the bacteria responsible for inflammatory acne. Use sparingly and moisturize afterward because peroxide can be drying with overuse. Hack number 26. Sanitizing your sponge and dish brush. Soak your kitchen sponges and scrub brushes in undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide for 10 minutes, then rinse well. Kitchen sponges are among the most bacterially contaminated objects in any home, and this method kills a significant portion of that contamination between replacements. Hack number 25. Cleaning window glass for a streak-free shine. Mix equal parts hydrogen peroxide and water in a spray bottle. Spray on glass and wipe with a clean microfiber cloth. The peroxide cuts through greasy fingerprints and film, without leaving the streaks that many commercial glass cleaners leave behind. Hack number 24. Treating fungal nail infections. Apply 3% hydrogen peroxide directly to affected toenails with a cotton ball twice daily. The oxidizing action penetrates the nail and disrupts the fungal cell membranes. Consistency over several weeks is key because nail fungus lives beneath the nail surface and takes time to treat. Hack number 23. Killing weeds between patio stones. Pour undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide directly onto weeds growing in cracks in your driveway or patio. The concentrated oxidation damages the plant cells on contact. Repeat every few days for persistent weeds. This is safer around pets and children than many commercial herbicides. Hack number 22. Refreshing smelly shoes. Spray the interior of your shoes generously with hydrogen peroxide and let them air dry completely before wearing. The peroxide kills the bacteria and fungal spores that accumulate inside shoes and cause odor. Grandpa used to line up his work boots every weekend and do this to every single pair. Hack number 21. Cleaning and sanitizing makeup brushes. Combine 1 part hydrogen peroxide with 1 part warm water in a shallow bowl. Swirl your brushes in the solution, rinse thoroughly, reshape the bristles, and lay flat to dry. This removes not only makeup residue, but also the bacteria that cause skin breakouts from contaminated brushes. Hack number 20. Treating canker sores inside the mouth. Dilute hydrogen peroxide 50-50 with water and use it as a mouth rinse to treat canker sores. The oxygenating action helps keep the sore clean and accelerates healing by reducing the bacteria that slow recovery. Do not swallow. Hack number 19. Sanitizing your garbage can. Spray the inside of your trash can with hydrogen peroxide after emptying and cleaning it with soap and water. Let it sit for 5 minutes and then rinse. This kills the residual bacteria and mold that cause persistent garbage odor even after washing. Hack number 18. Lightening age spots and skin discoloration. Apply 3% hydrogen peroxide to age spots on the skin using a cotton swab once daily for several weeks. The mild bleaching action gradually lightens hyperpigmentation. Always apply sunscreen over treated areas during the day to prevent further darkening from sun exposure. Hack number 17. Removing mold from bathroom caulk. Spray undiluted hydrogen peroxide generously onto moldy caulk around your tub or shower. Let it sit for 10 full minutes before scrubbing with a stiff brush. The peroxide penetrates the porous surface of the caulk and kills mold at the root, rather than just bleaching the visible surface, which means results last longer. Hack number 16. Cleaning your humidifier. Add 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide to the water tank of your humidifier weekly to prevent mold and bacteria from growing inside the warm, moist tank. Humidifiers can become breeding grounds for pathogens that then get misted directly into the air you breathe. Hack number 15. Preserving cut flowers longer. Add 1 teaspoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide to your flower vase water when you first arrange fresh cut flowers. It prevents the bacterial bloom that clogs the stems of cut flowers and causes them to wilt prematurely. Change the water and add fresh peroxide every 2 days. Hack number 14. Creating a natural all-purpose spray cleaner. Fill a spray bottle with 3% hydrogen peroxide and use it to clean countertops, appliance surfaces, and bathroom fixtures. Follow up immediately with a second spray of plain white vinegar in the same spot. The combination creates a powerful sanitizing effect on surfaces. Never mix them together in one bottle, however, because the combined solution degrades quickly. Always spray one, then the other. Hack number 13. Cleaning your stovetop and oven hood. Spray hydrogen peroxide directly onto greasy stovetop surfaces and let it sit for 5 minutes before wiping. The peroxide helps break down the protein and fat residue from cooking splatters, making them much easier to remove without harsh scrubbing chemicals. Hack number 12. Treating a sore throat at home. Gargle with a mixture of half hydrogen peroxide and half warm water for about 30 seconds, then spit thoroughly. Do this once or twice a day at the onset of a sore throat. The peroxide creates an oxygen-rich environment in the throat that many harmful bacteria cannot tolerate, and it helps reduce the early bacterial load before a minor throat irritation worsens. Hack number 11. Cleaning a stained coffee maker. Run a cycle with a solution of equal parts hydrogen peroxide and water through your coffee maker instead of coffee. Follow with 2 plain water cycles to flush out residue. This cleans the internal carafe, heating element, and a water reservoir of coffee oils and mineral buildup that develop over months of daily use. Hack number 10. Getting yellow stains off piano keys or white plastic. Dip a cotton swab in hydrogen peroxide and rub it over yellowed piano keys or white plastic surfaces. The mild bleaching action slowly restores whiteness to materials that have oxidized or yellowed with age. Grandpa had an old upright piano, and this was his secret for keeping those ivory keys presentable for decades. Hack number 9. Disinfecting your toothbrush. Store your toothbrush in a small cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide between uses. Rinse the brush thoroughly before using it. Toothbrushes collect bathroom bacteria, especially if stored near a toilet, and soaking in peroxide significantly reduces microbial contamination. Hack number 8. Cleaning tile and stone surfaces naturally. Spray hydrogen peroxide on a natural stone or ceramic tile and wipe with a clean cloth. Unlike acidic cleaners such as vinegar or lemon juice, peroxide is safe for natural stone surfaces like marble and granite that get permanently etched by acids. It cleans and sanitizes without damaging the surface. Hack number 7. Boosting your garden soil before planting. Drench your garden bed with a solution of 1 tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide per quart of water a day before planting seedlings. This aerates compacted soil, kills off dormant harmful pathogens, and creates a clean, oxygen-enriched starting environment for your new plants. Grandpa would prep his vegetable beds this way every single spring and credited it with his consistently excellent harvests year after year. Hack number 6. Removing set-in wine or juice stains from carpet. Pour hydrogen peroxide directly onto the dried stain and watch the fizzing reaction begin. Blot with a clean white cloth and repeat. For stubborn stains, apply a paste of peroxide and cream of tartar. Let sit for 30 minutes, then blot and rinse. The oxidation breaks apart the chromogenic pigment molecules in red wine and dark juices that bond stubbornly to carpet fibers. Hack number 5. Making a natural produce wash spray for daily use. Fill a spray bottle with 3% hydrogen peroxide and keep it on your kitchen counter. Before eating any fruit or vegetable, spray the surface thoroughly. Let it sit for 2 minutes, then rinse under water and dry. This works as a quick daily version of the longer soak method for busy households. It removes bacteria, breaks down surface pesticide residues, and is completely safe to use on all types of produce, including berries, grapes, and leafy greens. Unlike commercial produce washes that contain surfactants and other additives, hydrogen peroxide leaves behind only water and oxygen after it decomposes. Hack number 4. Treating scalp issues and dandruff. Dilute hydrogen peroxide to about 1.5% by mixing it 50-50 with water. Apply it to your scalp after shampooing using a spray bottle or cotton pads. Let it sit for 5 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. The peroxide addresses the fungal component of dandruff at the scalp surface, while also deep cleaning follicles clogged with product buildup and dead skin cells. Hack number 3. Using peroxide as a foot soak for cracked heels. Fill your foot basin with warm water, add 1 full cup of hydrogen peroxide, and soak your feet for 30 minutes. After soaking, gently use a pumice stone on the softened heel skin. The peroxide actually begins a very mild chemical softening process on the thickened keratin layers of cracked heels in addition to the disinfecting benefits, making it significantly easier to slough away rough skin during and after the soak. This was one of Grandpa's absolute favorite weekend rituals after working on his feet all week. He combined this with the foot odor soak into one single routine and always followed it up with a good thick layer of coconut oil on his feet before bed. Hack number 2. Creating a homemade oxygen bleach for laundry. For tough stains on white or light-colored fabrics, soak the garment in a solution of 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 2 parts water for 30 minutes before washing. Unlike chlorine bleach, hydrogen peroxide does not leave toxic residue on fabric, does not damage cotton fibers over repeated use, and does not produce the dangerous fumes that chlorine bleach releases when it contacts other cleaning agents accidentally. Grandpa used this on his work clothes for 30 years, and those shirts lasted longer than most modern garments do today. And now we have arrived at hack number 1, the one Grandpa called the most undervalued trick of all: building a versatile peroxide kit for your home. Take 3 spray bottles and label them clearly. The first bottle contains 3% hydrogen peroxide straight from the drugstore bottle, used for surfaces, produce, shoes, and all the disinfecting tasks we covered today. The second bottle contains a 50-50 dilution of peroxide and water, used for skin applications, mouth rinses, and hair and scalp treatments where you want gentler contact. The third bottle is reserved for your laundry peroxide soak solution, mixed fresh as needed. Keep all 3 bottles out of direct sunlight because hydrogen peroxide degrades quickly when exposed to light, which is exactly why it comes packaged in dark brown bottles. Stored properly in a cool, dark place, it remains effective for 6 months to a year after opening. Grandpa kept his brown bottles in the cabinet under the bathroom sink and replaced them every few months. He always said that the people spending money on dozens of different specialty cleaning products, beauty treatments, garden chemicals, and disinfectant sprays were paying 10 times more than necessary for results that were no better, and sometimes worse, than what a simple brown bottle costing less than $2 could do. And you know what? After going through all 43 of these hacks with you today, I think he was absolutely right. If you found even 5 of these useful, drop a comment below telling me which one surprised you most. Share this with someone who would never think to look twice at that little brown bottle on the pharmacy shelf. And if you want more of Grandpa's old-school home wisdom, subscribe because we are just getting started. See you in the next one.